My friends know that I like to work out and I like to make my own workout clothes. So we decided to collab and well, I made myself this really amazing swimsuit. And because our collaboration is about making workout gear using a free pattern, and this pattern isn't free, it's this one. I decided that I'm gonna whip together my own swimsuit cover-up without any pattern. How hard can it be? First off, I needed fabric, so I ran over to Target and picked up these 3 towels from their college kids section or something like that. They were super duper cheap. I think they were $5 each. And I got 3. It's gonna be plenty of fabric. And I'm not sure what exactly I'm gonna make yet. Maybe I'll add a hood. I don't know, but let's see where this takes us. Okay, so here I have my fabric, a ruler, and my weapon of choice, my rotary cutter, and an orange friction marker, just in case. So the very first thing that I'm thinking about is that I want to put my head down in the middle of this. I just want to cut out a circle so that my head could fit right in there. Let's see what happens. Let's find where that center is. Look at that. So this line is right at the center. This is gonna make my life so easy. All right, so now it is decision time. So, I mean, how big is my head? And I don't want to overcomplicate this, so let's just see. I think that if I cut, what is that, like 3 squares length? I think that if I cut it just bigger than these 2 squares in the middle, I'm gonna get a pretty decent sized hole. Let's go for it. Moment of truth. All right, we'll do like a third that way and a third this way. Let's take it down maybe half a square. Oh man, this is looking a little dangerous. I think I want the back to be a little more shallow. So let's see. Let's just cut. There's no way I'm gonna fit my head in this, right? But let's see what happens. Okay, no, I'm thinking I need that same size for the back too. All right, so back to my original idea. Let's just do it. Check that out! It goes over my head. Now I do think I want this to come a little lower, maybe to this line. I'm just gonna take that front and I'm going to bring it down to here. And I think I'm gonna leave the back where it is. So let's do maybe like that. So I'm gonna cut it this way just so that I don't get a weird looking opening here. Okay, the scary part is now done. My head, we know, fits through this hole. We've got a back. And we've got the front. Actually, I'm thinking, let me make sure I know which side is the back. I'm just gonna put a little B there, okay? B is for back. I think we're gonna do grown-on sleeves with this one, but instead of just sewing it straight down like that, I don't like how tight that's gonna get around my bottom or my back area. So I think I'm going to add some cool little gussets, maybe, in on the sides here. Okay, we've got a plan. Okay, so let's mark out our armhole area. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave 3 squares here. And if I measure that out, it's roughly 8 inches. It's a little more than 8, but I'm just gonna go with this on both sides. Okay, so that's where the armholes are going to end. We need another towel because I need to figure out this whole gusset action. So I'm thinking, let's just go ahead and use the same piece there. I need it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares high. Let's just go above that. Okay, let's just make this super roomy. Let's do 5 here. And actually, is that the center? It is. Perfect. So this is just gonna make some easy cutting here. Do I even want to use this? No. Follow this black line. And now let's cut right down the center of this one. And voila, we've got our 2 gussets. So let's attach them. I want to take advantage of as little hemming and stuff as possible. So I think what I'm going to do is take one of these gussets, sew this down at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and bring it back over this way. Wait, is this too long? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's cut off a row. Yeah, I definitely didn't cut at the right row. Okay, here we go. I am going to finish the raw edges on this. So this side and this side with my serger so that I can attach it at this line here, matching up the bottoms, of course. I think I'm gonna sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So that way when it's folded over, I have like this little fringy detail here. That might be cool, may not be, but this is what we're gonna roll with. So first, let me finish my edges. All right, so here we go. Let's just make things a little easy for ourselves. Yeah. Sewing does not need to be complicated. And I feel like oftentimes we just make it a little more difficult than it needs to be, and that can rob us of our sewing joy. So I'm just gonna keep this one easy peasy. I'm gonna sew at a 1/2 inch seam allowance going down that way. But because I only want to go to my sewing machine and do this once, I'm also gonna pin this side as well. Okay, now I'm gonna sew up both of these sides. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change out my needle. And actually, I've already taken it out, but I'm gonna throw in this universal Schmetz needle. I really like Schmetz. They just seem to really hold up very well. And this one's a 7511. So did you know that you can just bend the edge over like that to get them out easy? I'm always surprised when people don't know. And you all, can I just tell you, sitting here in my swimsuit feels a lot like sewing with my underwear. Ask me how I know. I'm gonna sew it at a 1/4 inch, but I'm gonna lengthen the stitches here to 3.5. I actually don't like how my blue serger thread looks. So I'm just gonna fold that down and repin it right under here. So that way I can sew across here. I think it'll be fine. I can just, you know, I'll fix it up. I did it. Let's check out the handiwork. All down like that, and I'm gonna sew it down so I don't have to worry about it later. Okay. Yowzas, a needle got me. One of those little pins said hello. Okay, let's backstitch. Okay, and so now it looks nice and clean. This is the back side that's going to be against my body. This is going to be the right side. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with the other side. So let's see where we're at. So I have both of these sides stitched down. This is the right side with that little flap that I was looking forward to, and I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so now I need to fold down the other side. I just need to pin this, right? The same way that we did the first one. Here's the gusset. I'm going to pop it right onto that line there, pinning at each of these black lines so that I can make sure that they all line up. So I'm just going to stitch this the same way we did the other ones, right down here, and I'm going to do both sides. Okay, it's not too bad. However, that didn't quite work out the way I was hoping. So I think I know how I'm gonna fix this. I am going to put in a little pleated section right there just to close this up like that, and then it can just hang down and open up. Yeah, let's pin it up. Okay, so it's hard to see, but here is my panel right in here. And I already know that I have one square right there. So let's see. How much do we need to bring that in? Maybe 2 squares? I think it's 1.5. Okay, let's just get these things meeting up. Okay, so then from this side, from the right side, that's what it's gonna look like. You see that? So this is where the pleat's going to be, and I'm gonna sew right across here. And then I'm just gonna let it fall open. That's it, and I'm gonna do that on both sides. Okay, we fixed the problem. You see that pleat? I actually think it's really cute. So let's figure out what we're gonna do with this neckline that I cut, because we can't keep it like this. Where's that towel piece? A hood? A big old hood, yeah? Let's see. This is feeling a little nunnish. We're gonna want it crisscrossed at the line. There, bring it forward. We're gonna see if this works. I'm not so confident in it. Okay. When I draped it around, it seemed like this line right here was where the back neckline hit. So that's what I cut. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Here's a towel dress. Okay, so this would be the neckline that it has to connect into, right? I mean, like, that's gotta count for something. If that's the neckline, but there's also the back. Okay, So I think this would have to be the front. And then I've got 2 squares. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is this. All right, we're gonna find out how crazy this looks in a second. I'm just gonna cut it. And then it was 2 additional squares, so I'm gonna take it there. That's what I got. And then it needs to be shaped going this way. So maybe something like this. And then I'll just sew it closed here and then attach it to the neckline. Crisscross it in the front a bit. All right, no fear. This is what a hood looks like right now. So let's see. Yeah, this is the wrong side. I'm just gonna stitch about a 1/4 inch right around here, making sure I match up all of these lines. I'm gonna stitch here. I'm gonna have to serge it. My blue serging's gonna show, but that's okay. I'll be back. Okay, so I decided to just zigzag stitch over the edge because I didn't want all of that blue thread anyways. I think it was the right decision. And so this is what our hood looks like. Yeah, let's see what this looks like on my head. Not bad. Let's attach it. What's actually kind of nice about this fabric is that I can see where all my like lining up points are, right? There's the center, here are my 2 shoulders. So now let's take a look at my hoodie here, and I'm gonna attach this center line to the center of my hood. We have these 2 that are crossing, and then I have to bring this okay. So I am all pinned up. I'm going to sew around this a 1/4 inch, and then I will serge this edge. Here it is, all attached. Here's the hood. The last thing that I want to do is stitch down this serged edge right here so that I'm catching it and it stays down all the way around the neckline. And then we're done. We don't need a hem because we used the edges of the towel. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a bit of a fearless sewist, one of those, you know, let's jump right in and make it work type of people. And I'm wondering if you're like that as well. So let me know down in the comments if you think that you might try to make yourself a little swimsuit cover-up like this one, or if you can't because you just need like a tried and true design so that you don't lose your mind. Let's put it on. I was thinking about putting in a little bit of waist cinching, maybe in the front, but I have to admit, I like it like this. I think it's cute, it's really cozy, and it'll be perfect for those days when I'm swimming laps and just want to come home. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. I'm loving how it looks. I might need a second one, but next time around, I'm not going to have to do all of the guessing. For this pattern, I made view A, the top here with the bottoms here. This is McCall 7417. I did a straight extra large for both pieces and it worked out fine. I did add a shelf bra into my swimsuit, so I'll show you how I did that in a video coming soon. And then for the bottoms, these right here, I did make them reversible because who doesn't like options? And don't forget that this was a collaboration, so make sure that you're checking out my 2 buddies right over here because their outfits were equally amazing, but they actually used patterns that you can download for free.